talking about the Archon forces and Sophia parasitic entities that live off human hosts. She says every politician has a parasite at the back of their neck. Now she's going to go and describe this. So I want you to have a listen to this, people. This is very interesting stuff. It's very interesting to me because I was literally telling people today that these demons at the G7 summit are demons. And I was interviewed recently, or attempted to be interviewed for a radio station. I said that the politicians that are meeting at the G7 are parasites and demons. Well, turns out I was correct. Yeah, turns out I was speaking the truth. Now, here's the more technical information about this parasite that feeds off of human or non-human politicians. So let's have a little listen.
A bit like from Alien the movie, it's got lots of legs and it attaches at the back of the head, and the person will not feel it on the back of their head.
Now, on the original edit that you did I put a diagram in there. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. It's very like that.
That was a hand drawing on a piece of paper at a restaurant in Poland by somebody who's aware of those sort of things.
Right.
Explain the relative amount of detail from that drawing, if that's relevant to what you're talking about.
Well, it's very like that drawing. It's like this being has got many legs, and it just sucks into the back of the head. I mean, you could say the pineal gland or somewhere in the skull. But what will happen is they can also go through the eye of the person.
Is that droning? Is that what they call droning?
It's like
when you're
it's a parasite that goes into the eye.
Now there's lots of
we have parasites on this earth that do and eat out the brain.
There's lots of pictures of very big of people like the Duke of Edinburgh, lots of movie stars with this black eye thing. I don't know which side it's going to be on. Are you talking about that?
Yes, it's kind of like that. It will burrow into the eye, go in. I would say like the tear duct, or through the corner of the eye, back into the eye type of thing. And then a bit like the body snatchers, taking over the body, taking over the consciousness of the human, and directing that human into what it wishes the human to do. But it lives off fear and anger, negative human emotions, not happiness. It can't live off the happiness. So that diagram I've seen, yes, it kind of touches right on the back of the head, can go into the eyes or eye. It can make the eye go black or bloodshot sometimes. And then it kind of basically uses a human like a puppet, giving it orders.
How do people see this thing?
You can't, because if you're not on that frequency, you can't see it. Like on Doctor Who, she could not see what was behind her. She kept saying, what is it? She couldn't feel it. She couldn't see it. Now, some people who are very, should we say, more aware or psychically aware, could see it and would say to her, and then she'd go, what's behind me? And they go, nothing. They wouldn't tell her.
It's behind
they saw it.
You, they say.
She couldn't feel it. She couldn't feel something on her back. But in the program, as they depicted it, it was rather big, stuck on her head, and then her back. But she couldn't feel it, she couldn't see it, because she wasn't obviously that aware. And it's almost like it's on a different frequency to the visual.
But
vision.
how can you make a statement like that about our politicians? And how is it that we can, how in any way can we believe that?
Because
why? I mean, what would you say to people who say, "Look, you're just talking bunk here. This is just imagination. You're just being ridiculous."
Because our politicians, to become a politician, you've got to have some form of, you have to have less empathy than, say, not most human beings. Because if you are going to be sending men to war, or women, you can't have empathy as much as a normal human being. Normal human beings would say they don't like war. They wouldn't want to send people to their death. A politician is a different level, and maybe perhaps a lot of politicians have been conditioned into that way of thinking. So it's again going back to...
What way do you mean conditioned?
They were conditioned from school, from baby, same kind of thing that I went through, but in a different thing. So they were conditioned through school, boarding school usually, or through any education, and the way the parents brought them up as well. Because perhaps...
What sort of conditioning in boarding school are you talking about?
Boarding school conditioning...
Any examples?
Well, basically being sent to boarding school at a very young age. It's a separation from the parents, number one. And you usually find a lot of politicians or people in power, they're separated from the parents at a very young age. In boarding school, it used to be a very difficult regime, because there would always be the boys at the higher end of the boarding school, girls, and they would be beating on the younger children, the younger kids, children in the boarding school. They'd make the younger children in the boarding school their slaves, make them do errands for them, that type of thing. It was all about that, really. And it was all about, beating on the younger kids and everything, indoctrinating them through religion as well.
Well, that sort of happens with everybody if they go to church and things, or is that the case?
Well, usually, it's religion as well, yeah. Because religion is, depending on the religion, it can be very strict as well. But these children sent to boarding school, they already have a problem because they've been separated from their parents, number one. So that already causes trauma to that child. Then they're in school where it's not very warm and loving, and then they have these older...
So essentially what she's telling you people is trauma-based mind control. This is the satanic agenda. This is how you create psychopaths. And apparently this is what she's saying, this is what you need to be a politician. Well, I would make a brilliant politician, wouldn't I? I was sent away to boarding school at age 11 to age 16, so 5 years of my life spent away from my family. I used to go back and visit every summer holiday, etc. And I loved it. It was an amazing time I had. Amazing. Flying all over the world, airports, school. It was a very exciting time. As a child, it was awesome. Now, the school, So, boarding school, people. There you go. This is just to condition you for prison, people. Anyway. This video was about the parasites that infest humanity, unseen parasites. If you're a shaman or you know anything about the occult, then you will well know that people have parasites and demonic entities attached to them. So it's very important to cleanse with salt, going in the sea, in the ocean, every day, cleansing your aura with salt, sage, etc, etc. So just a short video, people. Take care. Much love.